The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Eugene Springfield Fire Department, on your new fire apparatus, job number 31843. Please utilize this job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. Let's get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Starting on the front bumper, you'll find dual air horns on the passenger and driver side. Moving just inward of that location, you have two electronic siren PA control speakers. Moving up to the top passenger side, you'll find your bell, and also on the passenger side, you'll find your 1.5-inch swivel discharge. Moving also onto the top of the bumper, you'll find dual attachment points or hooks. They are chromed, fully enclosed. You'll also find a notched cutout in your tubbed storage location for your front bumper line. Located in the tub storage area is where your hose storage location is. Moving all the way to the driver's side, you'll find your electronic mechanical siren. Moving to the outer edges, you'll find your turn indicators. Moving just inside of that, the headlight cluster, you'll find your low and high beams. The high beam is on the inner section and the low is on the outer portion. Moving up from that location, you'll find the cluster of emergency warning lights, and also located under the Pierce logo is the latch to open the hood. You'll also find 3 windshield wipers across your seamless one-piece windshield. Moving up onto the top outer edges, you'll find your mirrors on the passenger and driver side, and also underneath you'll find a convex mirror portion. Moving up to the top or brow of the apparatus, you'll find 5 running lights. Moving up from that location, you'll find a forward-facing floodlight. And further up onto the very top, you'll find a full-width LED light bar. Located in the center, you'll find your Opticom. Side view of the apparatus in the front bumper area, you'll find an emergency warning light on the passenger and driver side. Moving all the way to the top, a better image here of your Opticom. Here are some close-up images of those items we talked about. This is your front discharge. It is capable of foam, and it is 1.5 inches. This is the tubbed storage location in the front. You'll also find that this is not a vehicle tow point. Warning label. Located under the Pierce logo is the handle or latch for your apparatus hood. Looking inside or under the hood, you'll find a variety of different items. First, let's start on the far passenger side, left-hand side. This is the fill location for your windshield wiper. You'll also find a fill location here for your radiator. Moving to the right, you'll find your power steering fluid fill location and also controls for your cab raise and lower on the right-hand side. Here are the instructions once again. Let's move underneath the apparatus. First, you'll find your foam pump drain discharge and also your foam pump intake. We'll move now to the upper left-hand corner of your pump panel, first with a warning label here regarding entanglement for those hoses. Also, additional warning label here regarding riding on the apparatus. And also only operators that are trained should operate this piece of equipment. There is also an indication or warning here regarding do not mix foam, and also a warning label here regarding pressurized caps and the associated hazards while removing those. You'll also find on the side your Husky foam system specifications and instructions, and also your Pierce maintenance schedule for 150, 200, and 250 psi. There is also a placard on the lower section here regarding the type of pump, waterless. Let's first start in the upper left-hand corner with your red section here. This is the foam system. The left-hand side is the control module. Moving to the right, you'll find your foam level A and foam level B indicator. You'll also find in this area a check engine light, which is amber, a check transmission light, which is also amber, and in red, you'll find a stop engine. You have a designated panel air horn, which is also located in red. Moving to the right, you'll find your FRC in control 400. First, we'll start with the check engine light and also a stop engine light. In this control area, you'll find pump discharge and pump intake, and at the very bottom, you'll also find a warning audible indicator. Moving to the right, this is your Pierce placard here regarding 150, 200, and 250 test pressures and the associated RPMs and GPMs associated. At the upper section, you'll find your recirculating line and also your engine cooler. Moving all the way to the left-hand side, you'll find panel lights, pump engaged. This will indicate when your pump is properly engaged with a green indicator, and then just beneath that you have a rocker switch for your reel rewind. Starting on the left-hand side, moving all the way to the right, you'll find all of your individual discharge controls. Moving to the far right, you'll find your water level indicator. This is going to be the blue indicator. And at the very bottom, your primer fire pump. This is going to be instructions here regarding at least 1,000 RPMs. Once again, this is the close-up here for your warning label regarding pressurized caps and associated hazards. There's also here a caution label to place the cab shift in neutral. Just beneath that, you'll find your Watrous electronic transfer valve for pressure and volume. And you also have a manual transfer valve for overriding your electric valve. You have a flush valve drain. Moving once again to the right, this is your Watrous information regarding the type of pump and transmission. And then moving all the way to the right, this is your pump drain, pull to drain. Beneath that, you'll once again find climbing on the apparatus or riding on the apparatus warning labels. And just inside this compartment is where you'll find your information here regarding on the left-hand side of the door for your foam fill operation. Let's move down underneath the discharges here. You'll find your air supply and also your air outlet. And then once again, a warning label here regarding only trained personnel should operate this equipment. Moving to the left-hand side, bottom corner, you'll go find a warning label here regarding foam failure hazard. This is going to be for mixing different types of foam and their consistencies, and then also your auxiliary foam functions for inlet, strainer, and drains. Down in the lower section, this is going to be your foam B inlet. These are the auto eject for your air and also for your shoreline, which is a 20 amp plug. This may look unusual, but this is upside down based on if you're at the very top of the apparatus looking down, it is not a step. At the very top section, you'll find in the gray area, master intake, master discharge, test pressure cords for vacuum and pressure. And we'll move just to the left. These are the two crosslays associated with your apparatus, number 1 and number 2 crosslay. They are foam capable. Located on the driver's side, you'll find your drafting tubes. Also located in the dunnage area is where you'll find your booster line. This is the manual crank attachment point, and just beneath that, you'll find the tension for your off-spool hose. Also looking in the top dunnage area, you'll find your water fill. You'll find your Class A fill location for foam, and also your Class B location for foam fill. This is also the location of your hydraulic oil. This is a fill location for that, and there is a sight gauge just on this side. Your vehicle is equipped with a night scan located on the cab of the apparatus. Looking to the rear section of your apparatus, you'll find an additional storage location on top of your hose bed storage. In the dunnage area, once again, this is the location for your large diameter deluge. As we move now to the compartments, you'll find this is the location for your attachment point for your Wilbert overhead light. Moving to the side of the apparatus, we'll find your blue DEF 4.5 US gallon tank. In a separate compartment, you'll find SCBA storage locations, and then just beneath that location is where you'll find your ultra low sulfur diesel fill. This is going to be the silver cap on the same driver's side. Moving to the compartments, you have LED lighting inside, adjustable shelving. We'll now move to the rear of the apparatus. First, we'll start with the cluster of lights containing the brake, turn, reverse, and emergency light. You'll also find a cupped switch here for your rear-facing floods. You'll also find emergency warning lights and also floodlights located in the areas to the rear, and also your warning labels and fold-down steps. Review some of the other items on the back of the apparatus. Once again, a warning label regarding riding on the rear of the apparatus. As we look to the right-hand side, you'll find an additional warning label here regarding falling from an apparatus while in motion. Located off-center, you'll find your backup camera. Just beneath that, you'll find your traffic advisor, and then also a center-faced brake light. This is the rear flood location for that cupped switch to turn on those rear lights. Close-up of the cluster here regarding your brake, turn, emergency light, and also backup lights. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll find your 6-foot hook and also hose storage location. Moving to the rear section roll-up door, you'll find 2 shelves here. First top shelf is adjustable, the bottom is fixed. Moving to the right-hand side, you'll find an 8-foot tool in addition with hose storage. Close up here once again of the traffic advisor, backup camera, and also brake light. Moving to the very top section here, you'll find your rear-facing floodlight. Looking down in the center dividers, you'll find additional rear hose storage and also a deployable line with a discharge port at the bulkhead. Moving to the top of the apparatus on the hose bed cover, you'll find a mounted section here for your folding ladder and longboard storage. You'll also find diamond-shaped safety tape regarding the edge of the apparatus for fall information. As we move to the side compartment, passenger side rear, you'll find 2 locations for 12-volt access, in addition with a access for 110 120 VAC 20 amp plug. This is a shoreline outlet, in addition with single bottle storage. Moving just up from this location behind the second door, you'll find your equipment rack hydraulic reservoir. This is where you'll add fluid. And just to the front of the rear wheel, you'll find dual section for bottle storage. Moving just over the rear wheel, you'll find this long storage location with 1 adjustable shelf and LED lighting. As we move to the front section, I would like to point out this warning label regarding extremely hot temperatures for exhaust. Moving to the section of mid location of your pump panel, you'll find your powered equipment rack. There is the instructions here with a master on-off and a up and down for the lift. There is also a reel rewind switch located in this section. There is also information here on a placard regarding access door for manual hydraulic. This is the hand operation for your hydraulic rack in case you have mechanical failure electronically. Moving up, you'll find your intake relief valve. This is adjustable, and also a strainer to the very lower section. Let's move back outward to the lower section of your apparatus. You'll find all of your associated drains that are clearly color-coded and marked. This is your auxiliary side 2.5 inch. We move up, you'll find your large diameter intake and also your large diameter discharge. Moving up to the very top, you'll find once again a warning label here regarding entanglement with the hoses coming off from a higher location, and also this label regarding do not step when this compartment is in the open position.
Moving to the passenger and driver's side rear section of the cab, you'll find emergency lights and also your tank indicator for water level. You'll also find just beneath this section your midsection turn indicator lamp. As we look into the cab itself, you'll find this exterior compartment, which is only exterior access. Looking inside the cab, you'll find two forward-facing SCBA seats and a folding seat. Moving overhead, you'll find your AC control area. As we look to the side panel of the door, you'll find additional warning label here, in addition with grab handle and a warning indicator when the door is open. Moving inside to the front compartment, you'll find the location for the bell rope to control the bell, and at the foot level is where you'll find your mechanical siren control. Let's move back upward to the dash area. First, on the dash itself, you'll find your vehicle data indicator or recorder, and you'll also find USB and also barrel style 12-volt access. Moving overhead, you'll find additional storage locations and also light control. We'll cover those next. First, starting in the upper left-hand corner with the alarm silence, driver's side scene, passenger side scene, and siren brake, and then flood control beneath that. Located in the center, you'll find your do not move the apparatus if this light is on or indicating that you have a door ajar. Also located in the center is your seatbelt information. You have shoreline outlets mounted on the tunnel of the engine. And also looking to the rear, you can see those two forward-facing SCBAs, and then on the passenger side, a fold-down seat. We're now in the cab section of the area. We'll review some of the items within this area. First, let's start down at the lower section. This is your auto charger. It will automatically indicate when you're charged and plugged into shore power. Moving to the left on the floor, you'll find your air horn and mechanical siren foot pedals. And you'll find your manufactured for the city of Eugene. This is the Pierce placard regarding gross vehicle weight ratings, in addition with tire speed limits, and also the type of chassis that you have, a velocity. Moving down, you'll find the VIN number, which is also located on the A pillar, and then all of the fluid capacities for your components and fluid types. We'll now move to the dash area, left-hand side about knee height. This red switch is the on-off master battery switch. Just beneath that, you will find an additional warning label. Moving up, you'll find your ignition, start, and hazard lights. Moving just inside of that location, you'll find your emergency master, headlight control, and panel rocker dim switch. Let's go ahead and take a look at the dash area. We'll talk a little bit about some of those controls. First, let's start on the right-hand side of the steering wheel. This is your high idle indicator. It is okay to engage the high idle when the light is green. Moving to the steering wheel, you have controls on the steering wheel, including emergency lights, windshield wiper control, and headlight and air horn control. Moving to the center dash area, we'll talk about those items starting on the left-hand side. You can see that you have your transmission, oil, DEF, and water. Located in the center is your tachometer and speedometer. Moving to the right-hand side, you'll find your volts, fuel level, front air, and rear air. And in the center, you'll find additional information on the displays above and below the speedometer. Moving to the door, you'll find controls for the windows. There are 4 controls on this side. Moving to the overhead section of the operator, you'll find the height, length, and gross vehicle weight rating, in addition with the job number. And to the right, you'll find 2 sections here of light control. We'll talk about those in the next set of images. First, let's start on the far left-hand side next to your yellow placard. 10 feet 3 inches, 31 feet 5 inches, and 24.9 tons. Moving from left to right, you have emergency master, roof light, front warning, side warning. The next section down, you'll find your lower rear warning lights, upper rear warning, your high beam flash, and then your Opticom control. Moving just to the right of this panel, you'll find the next, which is your backup alarm override, driver side scene, passenger side scene, load manager, front flood, driver's side flood, passenger side flood, and rear flood. All of these are push-on switches which will illuminate when they're active. Moving to the right, you'll find your Whelen traffic advisor with the direction indicator, an on-off power switch, and also the direction in which you choose. To the right, you'll find your code 3. This is for your electronic siren and PA control. And this is your seating assignment. You can see in the upper left, someone is occupying the driver's seat. They are in red, which means they are not buckled. If they were buckled, they would be in green. So a quick view of the dash component area. We'll start on the left-hand side, first with the yellow pull to apply your system parking brake, push to release. Moving to the right, you'll find your MUX system. This has a significant amount of information available to the driver. Moving to the right, you'll find your Allison transmission pad with an indication to pump in drive. As we move to the right, you'll find a variety of switches, fuel primer, tire chains, auto start, airport warning, siren brake, electronic siren, clear master, and perimeter lights. We'll move down to the next set of switches. These are rocker style switches with the engine brake on off, engine brake high, medium, and low, a future switch location, off-road traction, front wheel lock, and your mirror heat. Moving further over to the right-hand side, this is where you're going to find your road to pump and pump to road indicator and switch. You can see you have two green indicators, one pump engaged, the second OK to pump, and the instructions on the left and right on the right for engaging your pump. Let's move up to the next section here. This is an amp meter. Moving further up onto the center area, you'll find your mirror controls for left and right. Also at the very center, you'll find your heating and air conditioning for climate control. As I indicated earlier, on the left-hand side A pillar, this is the second location that you'll find your VIN number. It is located near the grab handle on the A pillar. Generalized view here, this is from the passenger side looking in to the rear section. You'll see in the center the location for your location checks for oil and transmission. Here's an additional view looking from the rear toward the front area. Congratulations, Eugene Springfield Fire Department, on your new apparatus, job number 31843. If you have any questions as to the content of this video, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you.